Hello, good morning should I say. It's 6:30 a.m. in Budapest and I'm just outside the Mövenpick Hotel where I'm staying. I'm going to go and have breakfast nice and early and get ready for the day ahead, although I have to say there's already plenty of traffic on the boulevard outside. This hotel was rebranded just in April 2025, that's 4 months ago, upgraded from a Novotel to a Moevenpick. I'm really excited to see what breakfast is like. Let's go in and take a look. My name is Philip Saunders, this is Travel in the Know. Let's go eat. Well, this truly is a venerable dining room and it's in Art Nouveau style and a beautiful place to have breakfast. What a wonderful kickstart to the morning. Now the question is, will the selection of food and also the quality of the food match both the Mövenpick brand, as I remember it as a younger man working in Switzerland, a really renowned Swiss brand for high quality food, but at a relatively good price. We are talking Switzerland, so let's go and select some food and see what it's like. Let's try the fruit salad. What excited me about this is how fresh it looked. Let's see if it's like that in reality. Start with pineapple, which I find is often a problem at breakfast buffets. Leave it out for a while, it doesn't taste very nice. But this is excellent, sweet, fresh pineapple. Great to start. A little bit of melon. That's good, sweet, and soft of a touch. You know how often, again, in hotel buffets, the melon isn't very good. And now this mixed fruit salad. I think that's a bit of papaya. I've got a grape and something else. Fresh, sweet, great. A really nice way to start the day. Super refreshing. And now, being very pro-Swiss, and this being originally a Swiss brand, the Bircher muesli. You either like it or you don't. I do, and it goes well with the fruit. And I almost forgot the watermelon. Sweet and in season. So, really good fruit plate to get things underway. Very happy. And now just a taste of the chia pudding. It's got a nice consistency. Throwing it everywhere. It's got a really very pleasant coconutty taste, actually. In case anyone's not quite sure what chia pudding is, it's pretty simple to explain. It's a cold and creamy dessert, which is specifically made ready for breakfast. And it's made by soaking chia seeds in a liquid light milk or juice until they absorb all the liquid and form a gel-like pudding texture. Pretty good. If you've not tried it, give it a go. Again, it's quite sweet, so I'm definitely getting a sweetness overload this morning. Now it's time to move on to the cold cuts. And one thing I really loved about this is the bread roll. Now I was heartily tempted by the rye bread, but in the end I've gone for a kind of Austrian Swiss style bread roll. It looks great, it's got sesame seeds on it. What I really liked about it, sorry for putting my chair up, is that it's actually warmed up as well. It's just stored under a little heater, but very nicely. Then a little bit of green stuff to do me good. I notice I'm the only person in the restaurant to have taken any of the spreads, but a little bit of the egg spread, aubergine and feta cheese, and then the fantastic Hungarian salami. Now in the UK, I think we generally associate salami with Denmark, Germany, perhaps a little bit in terms of specialist ones with Italy and France and even Spain, but rarely think of Hungary unless we're in the know. And that's where Travel in the Know comes in, because it's not just my opinion, many gourmets think that Hungarian salami is the best of all of them. But then the question is, why? You've got to find out why. Looking online, I found a couple of explanations. Why is it so good? Well, partly the quality of the ingredients, the pork meat and the pork lard that is used on the basis of centuries-old producing tradition. It's made with secret spices. There's cold smoking, a dry actual ripening process, which is why you kind of find a casing on the outside. It's a kind of special noble mold on the surface, which I think is edible. Certainly I've eaten it often. The other key element is actually the way it's made. It's not mass produced in machines. The pork and the pork fat's not chopped up in machines at all. No, it's actually using knives by hand, and they're also expertly designed knives specifically for the task of producing Hungarian salami. But again, the question is the taste. I suppose I should eat it on my bread, but I'm not going to, and I'm going to try and ascertain if there's any difference in the flavours of the 4 different types of salami on offer. So the first thing is the texture. The texture just feels better than that mass-produced salami. And the flavour of the pork is great. Seems very well balanced with the fat. It's not overly fatty at all, so I would reckon there's a higher proportion of pork in the salami. Quite salty, and there are definitely some other spices in there. Although, to be honest, I couldn't tell you exactly which ones. This is a smaller piece of salami, smaller circumference. I remember that from my mathematics. It also looks a slightly lighter shade. So what's the difference in flavour? Well, that one is far less salty, far less spiced. But again, it's got that slightly smoked flavour, which is great. And then here's another different design. Now, this has got pepper on the rind. This salami with the pepper is obviously distinguished, first of all, by that pepper on the outside. But also, whilst it's definitely salty, I think it's got a slightly higher fat content than the other salamis as well. I never thought I'd be able to distinguish so easily the difference between salamis, but actually it's not that difficult. And then finally, this one, I know what this is going to be like. It's going to be, I think, similar to chorizo. Let's see. It's got red pepper in it, which you'd expect in Hungary. So it's got that little bit of a kick, but I much prefer this to chorizo. First of all, because it's nowhere near as coarse. And secondly, the flavour is not so overwhelming. So my real recommendation is, if you've never tried Hungarian salami, try and get your hands on some and try it. My goodness, it's really good. Now let's try the various spreads. I'm going to start with the feta spread. All my time in Cyprus. See how similar it is to feta you get out in Greece. It's nice. You know, it's got that distinctive flavour that we associate with feta. And wow, it's creamy as well. And again, it's got a light mixture of herbs. If we're talking taste and quality, that is a cut above what you get at most hotel buffets, including in very good hotels. That is great. And finally, the egg spread. And I love egg mayonnaise sandwiches. It's one of my favourites from M&S, which is good because it's not the most expensive, so it's always in the meal deal. It's a good egg mayonnaise. I'd be very pleased if that was in a supermarket sandwich filling in the UK, anywhere near me. Well, I've now got my hot plate. Perhaps it's a shame as a Brit that there isn't typical bacon and eggs, so you can't have that everywhere. What there is, which is great, is scrambled egg with salami, and also you're able to put fried onions and bacon on top, so that's great. Looks like a nice high-grade mustard. We've got 2 Bavarian-style sausages, some freshly grilled vegetables, a few mushrooms. I love mushrooms. Right, let's give it a go. I'm going to start with the Bavarian sausage, partly because I lived there for quite a while. It's not really a white sausage, as they're claiming would be boiled. But it is a veal sausage, which traditionally in Munich you'd have with sweet mustard. This isn't sweet mustard, but it's not strong mustard either. So it goes pretty well with the sausage. I like that sausage. It's a bit different to what we're used to, but it's good. How about the scrambled egg? And try and take a few bacony bits and onion. And remember as well that there's some salami in there. It's really good. Considering it has salami, it doesn't really need the bacon as well. Probably a mistake. But the fried onions are fun. What do you call these? Is it rissole potato? Something like that. The first thing to really disappoint me, that's stone cold. And it's not crisp on the outside. That's a no-no. No need for it. Don't bother with it. Mushrooms? Also cold. I have eaten this quite quickly. Perhaps actually warmed up plates would be a solution. The sausage was warm. And the grilled vegetables? They're fine. Not over grilled. So they still have crunch and freshness in them. And the peppers or paprikas? Fresh and sweet, as you'd expect in Hungary. So stars of that. Of a sausage, which wouldn't appeal to every English taste, to be honest. And the eggs. The rest I'm lukewarm to, just as they were lukewarm to me. Take a break from the eating now and just talk a little bit about the hotel. It used to be a Novotel, and both Novotel and Mövenpick, at least since 2018, have been brands in the Accor family group. That's, hotels like Ibis, Novotel, Sofitel, an increasing number of brands as well. I think sometimes it gets a bit confusing. What's the differentiation? But I imagine that as rebranded from a Novotel to a Mövenpick to move it slightly up the pecking order in terms of brand quality, although there's nothing wrong with Novotel, and extract a little bit more money from visitors. And there's no doubt that Moevenpick, in terms of its hotels, used to be a really strong luxury brand. So it's interesting to see whether Accor can continue to build on that. A merva is a seagull, so Moevenpick is the idea of a seagull picking its food and also taking the pick of the food, the highest quality. Now, lots of YouTubers who do fish and chip reviews in Whitby, Greeno, know all about seagulls swooping in on their food, but that thankfully isn't going to happen in such a beautiful Art Nouveau dining room. Anyhow, that's where the brand originated. It was well known for two things: hotels, post-war, it was actually founded in 1948, and also restaurants and particular foodstuffs. For anyone who's old enough to remember, in London, where the W Hotel stands today on Leicester Square, used to be a building called the Swiss Centre, and there was a Mövenpick restaurant in there. It was, I think, at times branded Mövenpick and at others Le Marché, and you got very good food at sensible prices. Today, the Mövenpick Hotel brand belongs to Accor, but there is still a Mövenpick company, and it's best known for producing a really delicious ice cream under the Mövenpick brand. If you ever come across it, the caramel ice cream is particularly good. So that's the story of Moevenpick. Just to end breakfast, I got some sparkling water, which again is a touch I like because I can basically just cleanse my palate before leaving the restaurant. And you can't really have a breakfast buffet without some kind of croissant, can you? So I just want to see how the croissants were. And what's great is I can also try Mövenpick Schwarzkirsche jam with it. Schwarzkirsche is black cherry in German. So let's see if it fits with the quality I'd expect from the brand. I expect it will do, because most of the breakfast has been very good. Oh, big bits of cherry in there. It's a good jam in the croissant. It's obviously quite a small one, but it has a light buttery flavour. Perfectly decent. I've come out into the really rather lovely lobby as well to give my final thoughts. I thought that was a really excellent buffet breakfast. The quality of the ingredients was superb. The staff were wonderful. Setting absolutely fantastic. And although some of the hot items could have done with actually being a little warmer, it's definitely leaps and bounds above and beyond most buffet breakfasts. And now wait for it, the price as well. Well, I actually purchased on the morning in Hungarian forints, at 7,800 forints, and at the current rate of exchange, that's 19 euros and 68 cents. I'll put the price in pounds up on the screen, don't worry. But if I'd come and actually purchased my breakfast on arrival, it would have been 19 euros. And if I'd agreed for 2 days, I couldn't because I'm leaving very early tomorrow morning, only €14 for each breakfast. Now that's what I reckon around about £12. And for that quality, that is absurd. I mean, absurdly good. So what award am I going to give this breakfast? I think also considering the surroundings and all of this Art Nouveau magnificence, it has to be a gold medal. I can't really give a buffet platinum, and there weren't any a la carte options as far as I could see. Certainly wasn't made obvious, although in truth I didn't ask. It's not as if the buffet is draped in caviar like I was used to in Russia in the mid-90s after the collapse of the Soviet Union when working there, but that's an unfair comparison. A gold medal is fair, and certainly the grandeur of the dining room is great. Although we also have to say we're just around the corner from the Grand Cafe New York, which is considered by many as one of the most beautiful dining halls anywhere in Europe. But still, this is pretty good too. Can't complain. So a gold medal, well done to the Moevenpick Hotel and the rebranding, which only took place this year in April, so a few months ago. If you've enjoyed this vlog, then please like the video, subscribe, and don't forget to ding the bell for notifications. Köszönöm, that's thank you in Hungarian, and I look forward to seeing you on another adventure very soon. Goodbye.